What if I told you that one of the most famous wonders of the ancient world might never have existed at all? That's right, the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, often celebrated as a marvel of engineering and beauty, could have been nothing more than a myth. But that's just the beginning of the mysteries surrounding this ancient city. Welcome to a journey through time, where we uncover 30 little-known facts about life in ancient Babylon, a civilization that was as advanced as it was enigmatic. From groundbreaking legal codes to towering ziggurats, from celestial discoveries to daily life in a bustling metropolis, Babylon's story is filled with surprises that will leave you questioning what you thought you knew about the ancient world. So, buckle up and get ready to explore the secrets of a city that shaped history in ways you've never imagined. By the end of this video, you'll see why Babylon's legacy continues to fascinate us thousands of years later. Let's dive in. Now, let's take a closer look at one of the most intriguing mysteries of ancient Babylon, the Hanging Gardens. Often listed among the 7 wonders of the ancient world, these gardens have captured imaginations for centuries. But here's the twist. Historians and archaeologists have long debated whether they actually existed. Some believe the gardens were a real, breathtaking feat of engineering, built by King Nebuchadnezzar II to please his wife, who missed the lush greenery of her homeland. Others argue that the gardens might have been a myth, a story passed down through generations without any physical evidence to back it up. The confusion deepens when we consider that no Babylonian texts or records mention the gardens, and the descriptions we have come from Greek and Roman writers who lived centuries later. Some theories even suggest the gardens might have been located not in Babylon, but in the Assyrian city of Nineveh. So, were the Hanging Gardens a real marvel or just a legend? The truth remains buried in the sands of time, leaving us to wonder about the line between history and myth in this ancient city. Moving from the mysteries of the Hanging Gardens, let's step into the realm of law and order in ancient Babylon. Here, we find one of the most groundbreaking achievements in human history, the Code of Hammurabi, created around 1750 BC by King Hammurabi. This legal code is the earliest known written set of laws, predating even the 10 Commandments. Carved into a massive stone stele, the code contained 282 laws that covered almost every aspect of daily life, from trade and property disputes to family matters and criminal behavior. One of the most famous principles of the Code of Hammurabi is the idea of an eye for an eye, which aimed to ensure fairness and proportionality in punishment. For example, if a builder's poorly constructed house collapsed and killed the owner, the builder could face the death penalty. But the code wasn't just about punishment, it also protected the vulnerable, such as widows and orphans, and established clear rules for contracts and business dealings. What makes the Code of Hammurabi truly remarkable is its influence on later legal systems. Many of its principles, like the presumption of innocence and the importance of written evidence, can be seen in modern laws today. So, while Babylon may be famous for its gardens and gates, its greatest legacy might just be the foundation it laid for justice and governance across the ages. Now, let's shift our focus from the laws that governed Babylon to one of its most breathtaking architectural wonders, the Ishtar Gate. This monumental structure wasn't just a gateway into the city, it was a dazzling display of Babylon's wealth, power, and engineering prowess. Built during the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar II around 600 BC, the Ishtar Gate was part of a grand processional way that led into the heart of Babylon. What made it truly extraordinary were its vibrant blue-glazed tiles, which shimmered in the sunlight and were adorned with intricate reliefs of lions, dragons, and bulls. These animals weren't just decorative, they symbolized the gods worshipped by the Babylonians, with the lion representing Ishtar, the goddess of love and war, and the dragon and bull symbolizing Marduk and Adad, respectively. The gate itself stood over 38 feet tall, and its construction showcased the Babylonians' advanced knowledge of materials and design. They used a technique called faience, a type of glazed ceramic, to create the stunning blue tiles that have survived for millennia. Today, while the original gate lies buried beneath the sands of modern-day Iraq, a reconstructed version stands proudly in the Pergamon Museum in Berlin. This reconstruction gives us a glimpse into the grandeur of ancient Babylon and reminds us of the city's enduring legacy as a center of art, culture, and innovation. So, the next time you think of Babylon, don't just picture its laws or gardens. Imagine walking through the awe-inspiring Ishtar Gate, a true marvel of the ancient world. Now let's step into the world of numbers and calculations where the Babylonians truly shone. The Babylonians were not just builders and rulers, they were brilliant mathematicians. One of their most significant contributions was the development of the base 60 number system, which might sound a bit unusual to us today, but it's actually the reason we divide hours into 60 minutes and minutes into 60 seconds. This system, known as the sexagesimal system, was incredibly versatile and allowed the Babylonians to perform complex calculations with ease. They used it to measure time, angles, and even the movements of celestial bodies. Their mathematical prowess didn't stop there. The Babylonians were also skilled in geometry, using it to design their impressive buildings, canals, and city layouts. They could calculate areas, volumes, and even solve quadratic equations, which is pretty remarkable for a civilization that existed thousands of years ago. But perhaps their most fascinating application of math was in astronomy. By meticulously tracking the stars and planets, they created some of the earliest known astronomical records, predicting eclipses and mapping the night sky with surprising accuracy. This blend of math and astronomy wasn't just for show. It played a crucial role in their religious practices, agriculture, and even their calendar system. So, the next time you glance at your clock or marvel at the precision of ancient architecture, remember that you're witnessing the legacy of Babylonian mathematics, a testament to their ingenuity and forward-thinking approach. Now, shifting our focus from the mathematical marvels of Babylon, let's explore a structure that has captured the imagination of people for centuries: the Tower of Babel. Many believe this iconic biblical story was inspired by the towering ziggurats of Babylon. These massive step temples with their terraced levels reaching toward the heavens were not just architectural feats but also deeply symbolic. The most famous of these was the Etemenanke, a ziggurat dedicated to the god Marduk, which stood at the heart of Babylon. Its name translates to the foundation of heaven and earth, reflecting its spiritual significance as a bridge between the divine and the mortal world. The biblical Tower of Babel, described as a structure built to reach the heavens, echoes this idea of humans striving to connect with the divine. While the story in the Bible emphasizes themes of human ambition and divine intervention, the ziggurats of Babylon served as places of worship where priests performed rituals and offerings to appease the gods. These structures were central to Babylonian religion, embodying their belief in a cosmos where gods and humans were intricately linked. The ziggurats also symbolized the power and unity of the city, as their construction required immense resources and labor, showcasing the might of Babylon's rulers. So, whether you see the Tower of Babel as a cautionary tale or a reflection of ancient aspirations, its connection to Babylon's ziggurats offers a fascinating glimpse into how architecture, religion, and mythology intertwined in this ancient civilization. Now, let's turn our gaze upward to the night sky, where the Babylonians left an indelible mark on the world of astronomy. The Babylonians were not just skilled observers of the heavens. They were pioneers who laid the groundwork for much of what we know about astronomy today. Their fascination with the stars went beyond mere curiosity. It was deeply tied to their religion, agriculture, and even their understanding of time. By meticulously tracking the movements of celestial bodies, they created some of the earliest star maps, which helped them predict the positions of planets and stars with remarkable accuracy. One of their most impressive achievements was their ability to predict lunar and solar eclipses. Using detailed records of past events, they identified patterns in the cycles of the moon and sun, allowing them to forecast these awe-inspiring celestial phenomena. This knowledge wasn't just for show, it had practical applications, helping them plan agricultural activities and religious ceremonies. But perhaps their most enduring contribution to astronomy was the creation of the zodiac. The Babylonians divided the sky into 12 equal parts, each associated with a constellation. This system, which we still use today, became the foundation for astrology and influenced cultures across the ancient world. Their work in astronomy also extended to the development of a calendar based on lunar cycles, which they used to organize their religious festivals and daily lives. The Babylonians' ability to blend science, religion, and practicality in their study of the stars is a testament to their ingenuity and their profound connection to the cosmos. Their legacy in astronomy reminds us that even thousands of years ago, humans were looking to the skies not just for answers, but for a deeper understanding of their place in the universe. Shifting our focus from the stars to the streets of Babylon, we uncover a fascinating aspect of daily life that set this ancient civilization apart: the rights and freedoms enjoyed by women. In a time when many societies relegated women to the background, Babylonian women stood out for their remarkable legal autonomy. Under the Code of Hammurabi, women were granted rights that were almost unheard of in other ancient cultures. For instance, they could own and manage property, a privilege that allowed them to engage in business dealings independently. Whether it was buying land, running a shop, or even lending money, Babylonian women had the legal standing to participate fully in the economy. But their rights didn't stop there. Women in Babylon could also initiate divorce, a groundbreaking concept for its time. If a marriage was no longer working, a woman could seek a legal separation and even receive financial support from her former husband. This level of agency was rare in the ancient world and speaks volumes about the progressive nature of Babylonian society. Additionally, women could inherit property from their families, ensuring they had financial security even in the absence of a male heir. These rights weren't just theoretical, they were actively enforced, as evidenced by surviving legal documents that detail disputes and agreements involving women. What makes this even more remarkable is how these rights were integrated into the broader legal framework of Babylon. The Code of Hammurabi didn't just protect women's rights, it also outlined specific penalties for those who violated them, ensuring that women could seek justice when wronged. This legal recognition of women's roles in society highlights a level of sophistication and fairness that was far ahead of its time. As we continue to explore the wonders of Babylon, it's clear that this ancient civilization wasn't just a hub of innovation in science and architecture. It was also a place where the seeds of gender equality were planted, long before such ideas became widespread. Now, let's step into the vibrant heart of Babylon, a city that thrived as a melting pot of cultures. Situated at the crossroads of major trade routes, Babylon wasn't just a political and economic powerhouse, it was a cultural hub where people from all corners of the ancient world converged. Its strategic location along the Euphrates River made it a natural meeting point for merchants, travelers, and scholars, creating a dynamic environment where ideas, goods, and traditions flowed freely. This constant exchange of people and cultures gave Babylon a unique identity. Within its walls, you'd hear a symphony of languages, from Akkadian and Sumerian to Aramaic and even Greek. This linguistic diversity wasn't just a reflection of Babylon's cosmopolitan nature, it was a necessity for a city that served as a bridge between empires. Merchants haggled in marketplaces, scribes recorded transactions in multiple scripts, and diplomats negotiated treaties, all contributing to a rich tapestry of communication. But it wasn't just languages that made Babylon a cultural mosaic. The city was home to a variety of religions and spiritual practices. Temples dedicated to Babylonian gods like Marduk stood alongside shrines honoring deities from neighboring regions. Pilgrims and traders brought their own beliefs, and over time, these traditions intertwined, creating a unique blend of rituals and customs. This religious diversity wasn't just tolerated, it was celebrated, as Babylonians recognized the value of different perspectives in enriching their society. The city's markets were another testament to its cultural richness. Here, you could find goods from as far away as India, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. Spices, textiles, precious metals, and exotic foods filled the stalls, each item carrying with it a piece of its homeland's culture. These markets weren't just places of commerce, they were spaces where people exchanged stories, traditions, and innovations, further solidifying Babylon's role as a cultural crossroads. This blending of cultures also influenced Babylonian art, architecture, and daily life. The city's iconic structures, like the Ishtar Gate, showcased motifs and designs inspired by neighboring civilizations, while its literature and poetry reflected a deep appreciation for the stories and wisdom of others. Even in their cuisine, Babylonians embraced flavors and techniques from distant lands, creating a culinary tradition as diverse as its people. Babylon's ability to absorb and integrate so many cultures wasn't just a testament to its openness, it was a key factor in its enduring legacy. By fostering an environment where diversity thrived, Babylon became more than just a city. It became a symbol of unity in the ancient world. As we move forward, we'll see how this cultural richness shaped other aspects of Babylonian life, from its economy to its innovations. Now, let's turn our attention to one of Babylon's most awe-inspiring features, its massive walls. These towering structures weren't just a symbol of the city's might. They were a marvel of ancient engineering and a testament to Babylon's strategic brilliance. According to historical accounts, the walls of Babylon were so vast that they were considered one of the wonders of the ancient world. Some sources claim they reached heights of over 100 feet, with a width so great that two chariots could ride side by side along the top. Imagine standing at the base of such a wall, looking up at a structure designed not just to protect but to intimidate. The walls served as Babylon's first line of defense, shielding the city from invaders and ensuring its dominance in a region often plagued by conflict. But their purpose went beyond mere protection. They were a statement, a declaration of Babylon's power and permanence. The walls were constructed using baked bricks, a material far more durable than the sun-dried bricks commonly used in other cities. These bricks were bound together with bitumen, a natural tar-like substance that acted as a powerful adhesive, making the walls incredibly resilient to both time and attack. One of the most fascinating anecdotes about these walls comes from the Greek historian Herodotus, who claimed they were so thick that they could withstand even the most determined siege engines. He also described the walls as being adorned with intricate designs and inscriptions, adding an artistic touch to their imposing presence. While some of Herodotus's accounts have been debated by modern historians, his descriptions capture the sense of awe these walls inspired in those who saw them. The durability of Babylon's walls was put to the test multiple times throughout the city's history. Despite numerous attempts by rival empires to breach them, the walls stood firm, a testament to the ingenuity and craftsmanship of their builders. They weren't just a barrier, they were a symbol of Babylon's resilience and its ability to withstand the challenges of a turbulent world. As we move forward, we'll explore how these walls, along with other innovations, contributed to Babylon's reputation as a city that was not only powerful but also enduring. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale and significance of these ancient fortifications, a true marvel of their time. Now, shifting our focus from the towering walls of Babylon to the inner workings of its society, let's delve into the fascinating world of Babylonian medicine. The Babylonians were pioneers in the field of healthcare, blending practical knowledge with spiritual beliefs to treat a wide range of ailments. Their approach to medicine was remarkably advanced for its time, combining the use of herbs, surgical techniques, and detailed medical texts that laid the groundwork for future civilizations. One of the most striking aspects of Babylonian medicine was their extensive use of herbs and natural remedies. They cultivated a deep understanding of plants and their healing properties, using ingredients like licorice, mint, and myrrh to create treatments for everything from digestive issues to skin conditions. These remedies were often recorded on clay tablets, which served as early medical manuals detailing dosages and methods of preparation. But Babylonian medicine wasn't limited to herbal treatments. They also practiced surgery, performing procedures such as setting broken bones, treating wounds, and even addressing dental issues. Archaeological evidence suggests that they used tools like bronze scalpels and probes, showcasing their technical skill and innovation. While their methods might seem rudimentary by today's standards, they represented a significant leap forward in medical practice during their era. Interestingly, the Babylonians also believed that illness could have supernatural causes. They thought that diseases might be the result of curses, evil spirits, or the displeasure of the gods. To address these spiritual ailments, they often combined medical treatments with rituals, prayers, and offerings to appease the divine. This dual approach, treating both the body and the spirit, reflects their holistic view of health and well-being. The Babylonians' contributions to medicine were not just practical but also intellectual. They compiled detailed records of symptoms, diagnoses, and treatments, creating some of the earliest known medical texts. These documents not only helped Babylonian healers but also influenced later civilizations, including the Greeks and Romans, who built upon this knowledge. As we continue our journey through the wonders of ancient Babylon, it's clear that their innovations in medicine were just as impressive as their architectural achievements. Their ability to blend science and spirituality offers a unique glimpse into how they understood and cared for the human body. Next, we'll explore how the Euphrates River shaped daily life in Babylon, revealing yet another layer of this extraordinary civilization. Now, let's turn our attention to the lifeblood of Babylon, the mighty Euphrates River. Flowing directly through the heart of the city, this river was far more than just a body of water. It was the cornerstone of Babylonian civilization. The Euphrates shaped every aspect of daily life, from the food they ate to the way they moved goods and people across the region. Water from the Euphrates was essential for sustaining Babylon's population. It provided a reliable source of drinking water for the city's inhabitants and their livestock. But its importance didn't stop there. The river also played a critical role in agriculture, which was the backbone of Babylon's economy. Farmers used its waters to irrigate their fields, ensuring that crops like barley, wheat, and dates thrived in the otherwise arid landscape. This irrigation system was so effective that it allowed Babylon to produce surplus food, supporting a growing population and even enabling trade with neighboring regions. The Euphrates was also a vital transportation route. In an era before paved roads, the river served as a natural highway, connecting Babylon to other cities and trade hubs along its banks. Merchants used boats to transport goods such as textiles, pottery, and grain, making the river a bustling hub of commerce. This constant flow of trade not only enriched Babylon economically, but also brought cultural exchange as people from different regions interacted and shared ideas. Beyond its practical uses, the Euphrates held a deeper significance for the Babylonians. It was seen as a gift from the gods, a symbol of life and prosperity. Temples and shrines were often built near its banks, and religious ceremonies frequently honored the river's role in sustaining the city. The Euphrates wasn't just a resource, it was a sacred part of their identity. As we reflect on the role of the Euphrates, it's clear that this river was the life force of Babylon. Without it, the city's achievements in agriculture, trade, and culture would have been impossible. Next, we'll uncover how the Babylonians recorded their knowledge and history. exploring their use of clay tablets and the enduring legacy of their written records. Now, shifting our focus to how the Babylonians preserved their knowledge, we come to one of their most remarkable innovations: writing on clay tablets. Unlike paper or parchment, which can easily decay over time, clay tablets offered a durable and long-lasting way to record information. The Babylonians used a writing system called cuneiform, which involved pressing a reed stylus into soft clay to create wedge-shaped marks. Once the clay dried or was baked, these tablets became incredibly sturdy, capable of surviving for thousands of years. Cuneiform wasn't just used for simple record-keeping. It was a versatile tool that captured everything from legal contracts and business transactions to epic stories and religious texts. Imagine a bustling marketplace where merchants recorded their sales on clay tablets, or a scribe carefully inscribing the laws of Hammurabi for future generations. These tablets were the ancient equivalent of books, archives, and even emails, serving as a vital means of communication and documentation. One of the most fascinating aspects of these clay tablets is their durability. While other ancient civilizations used materials like papyrus or animal skins, which could easily deteriorate, the Babylonians' choice of clay ensured that their records endured. Today, archaeologists have uncovered thousands of these tablets, offering us a window into Babylonian life that would have otherwise been lost to time. From mundane grocery lists to grand literary works like the Epic of Gilgamesh, these tablets reveal the complexity and richness of Babylonian culture. The use of clay tablets also highlights the Babylonians' advanced organizational skills. They created libraries and archives to store these records, ensuring that knowledge could be passed down through generations. This system of documentation laid the groundwork for modern record-keeping and even influenced later civilizations like the Greeks and Romans. As we marvel at the ingenuity of the Babylonians, it's clear that their use of clay tablets was more than just a practical solution. It was a testament to their desire to preserve their history and culture. Next, we'll explore another groundbreaking achievement of Babylonian society: their sophisticated sewer system, which was far ahead of its time. Now, let's step into the streets of ancient Babylon and uncover another marvel of their ingenuity: their complex sewer system. While many ancient cities struggled with waste management, Babylon stood out with its advanced drainage and sanitation systems, which were truly ahead of their time. The Babylonians understood the importance of cleanliness and public health, and their sewer system was a testament to this. The city was equipped with an intricate network of underground drains and canals designed to carry away waste and rainwater. These systems were carefully engineered to prevent flooding and keep the streets clean, a remarkable achievement for a civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. What's even more impressive is how these sewers were integrated into the city's architecture. Homes and public buildings were connected to the drainage system, ensuring that waste was efficiently removed from populated areas. This not only improved hygiene but also reduced the risk of diseases, which were common in other ancient cities with less advanced sanitation. The Babylonians' attention to detail extended to the materials they used. They constructed their sewers with baked bricks and bitumen, a natural tar-like substance, to make them waterproof and durable. This combination of materials ensured that the system could withstand the test of time, much like their famous clay tablets. This advanced approach to sanitation wasn't just about practicality. It reflected the Babylonians' broader understanding of urban planning and their commitment to creating a livable, thriving city. Their sewer system was a key factor in maintaining Babylon's reputation as a center of civilization and innovation. As we reflect on this achievement, it's clear that the Babylonians were pioneers in public health long before modern sanitation systems existed. Their foresight and engineering skills laid the groundwork for future cities to prioritize cleanliness and hygiene. Next, we'll dive into one of Babylon's most vibrant traditions: the Grand New Year festival known as a Kittu, a celebration that brought the entire city together. Now, let's turn our attention to one of Babylon's most vibrant and significant traditions, the Akitu Festival. This grand celebration marked the beginning of the Babylonian New Year and was more than just a festive occasion. It was a deeply spiritual event that reinforced the city's connection to its gods and its cultural identity. The Akitu Festival lasted for 12 days, each filled with elaborate rituals, processions, and ceremonies. At its heart, the festival honored Marduk, Babylon's chief god, and celebrated his victory over chaos, symbolizing the renewal of life and order. The entire city came alive during this time, with people from all walks of life participating in the festivities. One of the most striking aspects of the Akitu Festival was the grand procession. A statue of Marduk was carried from his temple, the Esagila, through the streets of Babylon to a special shrine outside the city walls. This journey symbolized the god's temporary departure from the city and his eventual triumphant return, marking the renewal of divine favor and the start of a new year. The rituals performed during Akitu were both symbolic and theatrical. Priests reenacted the cosmic battle between Marduk and the forces of chaos, a story central to Babylonian mythology. These performances weren't just entertainment, they were a way for the people to reaffirm their faith and their place in the universe. Another fascinating element of the festival was the role of the king. During Akitu, the Babylonian king underwent a symbolic humiliation, stripped of his regalia and forced to kneel before Marduk's statue. This act was meant to demonstrate the king's submission to the gods and his responsibility to rule justly. Only after performing this ritual could the king be reinstated, symbolizing the renewal of his divine mandate to lead. The Akitu festival also served as a time for social cohesion. It brought together people from different backgrounds, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. Feasts, music, and dancing were integral parts of the celebration, creating an atmosphere of joy and community. Through the Akitu festival, the Babylonians not only celebrated the new year but also reaffirmed their cultural and religious values. It was a time of reflection, renewal, and hope for the future, a tradition that highlights the depth of their spiritual and social life. Next, we'll explore another fascinating aspect of Babylonian culture, their creation of the first known map of the world, a testament to their curiosity and understanding of the world around them. Now, let's shift our focus to another remarkable achievement of the Babylonians, their creation of the first known map of the world. This ancient artifact, often referred to as the Babylonian world map, offers a fascinating glimpse into how the people of Babylon perceived their place in the universe. The Babylonian world map, dating back to around 600 BC, is a clay tablet that depicts the known world as the Babylonians understood it. At the center of the map lies the city of Babylon itself, surrounded by a circular river representing the Euphrates. Beyond this, the map shows other regions, including Assyria, Elam, and even distant lands like the Salt Sea, which scholars believe refers to the Persian Gulf. What makes this map so intriguing is not just its geographical accuracy, but also its symbolic meaning. The Babylonians didn't just see the world as a physical space, they viewed it through a lens of mythology and religion. The map includes annotations that describe mythical creatures and divine realms, blending the real with the imagined. For the Babylonians, the world was not just a collection of lands and rivers, but a cosmic order governed by their gods. The map also reflects Babylon's self-perception as the center of the world. By placing their city at the heart of the map, the Babylonians emphasized their cultural and spiritual significance. This wasn't just a geographical statement, it was a declaration of their belief in Babylon's divine favor and its role as a hub of civilization. Interestingly, the Babylonian world map wasn't used for navigation or travel. Instead, it served as a symbolic representation of the world, likely used for educational or religious purposes. It was a way for the Babylonians to teach their understanding of the cosmos and their place within it. This ancient map is a testament to the Babylonians' curiosity and their desire to make sense of the world around them. It shows how they combined observation, imagination, and spirituality to create a unique vision of the universe. As we move forward, we'll uncover another fascinating aspect of Babylonian life, their innovative use of beer, not just as a drink but as a form of currency, highlighting the creativity and practicality of this ancient civilization. Now, let's dive into a surprising yet practical aspect of Babylonian life, their use of beer as a form of currency. Yes, you heard that right. Beer wasn't just a drink for the Babylonians, it was a vital part of their economy and daily life. In ancient Babylon, beer was more than a refreshing beverage, it was a dietary staple. Made from barley, a crop that thrived in the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, beer was consumed by people of all ages and social classes. It was nutritious, relatively safe to drink compared to water, and played a central role in their diet. But its importance didn't stop there. The Babylonians took their love for beer to the next level by using it as a form of payment. Workers, particularly those involved in labor-intensive tasks like building temples or digging canals, were often paid in beer. This practice wasn't just about quenching thirst. It was a practical solution in a society where currency, as we know it, didn't exist. Beer was a tangible, valuable commodity that could be easily distributed and consumed. This system highlights the ingenuity of the Babylonians. By using beer as currency, they ensured that workers were not only compensated but also provided with a daily necessity. It was a win-win situation. Workers received something they could immediately use, and employers had a reliable way to pay for labor. Beyond its economic role, beer also held cultural significance. It was often used in religious rituals and offerings to the gods, symbolizing abundance and prosperity. The brewing process itself was considered an art, and brewers held respected positions in society. The use of beer as currency reflects the Babylonians' ability to blend practicality with creativity. It shows how they adapted their resources to meet the needs of their society, turning something as simple as beer into a cornerstone of their economy. As we continue, we'll explore another fascinating dimension of Babylonian culture, their contributions to art and literature, which reveal even more about their rich and complex civilization. Now, let's step into the vibrant world of Babylonian creativity, where art and literature flourished like nowhere else in the ancient world. Babylon wasn't just a hub of trade and innovation, it was also a thriving center for artistic expression and storytelling, leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate us today. One of the most remarkable contributions of Babylonian culture is the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature in human history. This epic poem, written on clay tablets in cuneiform script, tells the story of Gilgamesh, a legendary king who embarks on a quest for immortality. But it's more than just a tale of adventure. It explores profound themes like friendship, mortality, and the human condition, making it timeless in its relevance. The Babylonians didn't just stop at poetry. They were also masterful artists, creating intricate sculptures, detailed reliefs, and stunning murals that adorned their temples and palaces. These artworks often depicted scenes of daily life, religious rituals, and mythological stories, offering us a glimpse into their beliefs and values. The famous Ishtar Gate, with its vibrant blue tiles and animal motifs, is a testament to their artistic prowess and attention to detail. Literature and art weren't just for the elite, they were woven into the fabric of everyday life. Scribes, who were highly respected in Babylonian society, played a crucial role in preserving and spreading these works. Schools taught cuneiform writing, ensuring that the art of storytelling and record-keeping was passed down through generations. What's truly fascinating is how Babylonian art and literature reflect their worldview. Their stories often intertwine the divine with the human, showing a deep connection between their gods and their daily lives. This blend of the spiritual and the practical is a hallmark of their culture, revealing a society that valued both creativity and meaning. As we move forward, we'll uncover another layer of Babylonian life, their belief in a pantheon of gods and the role of religion in shaping their world. This next chapter will take us deeper into the spiritual heart of this ancient civilization. Now, let's turn our attention to the spiritual heart of Babylon, where the divine and the earthly were deeply intertwined. The Babylonians believed in a rich and complex pantheon of gods, each with their own domain and influence over the world. At the center of this divine hierarchy was Marduk, the chief god of Babylon, who was seen as the protector of the city and the bringer of order. His rise to prominence is tied to the famous Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation myth, where Marduk defeats the chaos monster Tiamat and establishes the cosmos. This story wasn't just a tale, it was a reflection of their belief in the triumph of order over chaos, a theme that resonated deeply in their daily lives. But Marduk wasn't alone. The Babylonian pantheon included a host of other deities, each with their own roles and responsibilities. Ishtar, the goddess of love and war, was one of the most revered, embodying both beauty and power. Nabu, the god of wisdom and writing, was worshipped by scribes and scholars, while Shamash, the sun god, was seen as the bringer of justice and truth. These gods weren't distant figures, they were actively involved in the lives of the people, influencing everything from the harvest to the outcome of battles. Temples played a central role in Babylonian society, serving as both religious and economic hubs. The most famous of these was the Esagila, the temple dedicated to Marduk in the heart of Babylon. These temples weren't just places of worship, they were bustling centers of activity, where priests conducted rituals, offered sacrifices, and interpreted omens to guide the community. The ziggurats, towering stepped structures, were believed to connect the heavens and the earth, serving as a physical link between the gods and humanity. Religion was woven into every aspect of Babylonian life. Festivals like the Akitu New Year celebration brought the entire city together in honor of the gods, while daily prayers and offerings were a way for individuals to seek favor and protection. Even their legal system, as seen in the Code of Hammurabi, was rooted in divine authority, with laws presented as gifts from the gods to ensure justice and order. As we move forward, we'll explore how this deeply spiritual society faced the challenges of conquest and change, shaping the destiny of Babylon in ways that continue to echo through history. Now, let's shift our focus to a pivotal aspect of Babylon's history, its resilience in the face of conquest. Despite its grandeur and cultural achievements, Babylon was not immune to the tides of war and empire building. Over the centuries, this iconic city found itself at the center of power struggles, falling under the control of several mighty empires. The first major conquest came at the hands of the Assyrians, who ruled over Babylon for much of the 8th and 7th centuries before the Common Era. Known for their military might, the Assyrians sought to dominate Mesopotamia, and Babylon, with its strategic location and wealth, was a prized possession. However, the Babylonians were far from passive subjects. Under the leadership of King Nabopolassar and his son Nebuchadnezzar II, they rose up against Assyrian rule, reclaiming their independence and ushering in a golden age for the city. But Babylon's fortunes would shift again. In the 6th century before the Common Era, the Persian Empire, led by Cyrus the Great, swept through Mesopotamia. Unlike the Assyrians, Cyrus adopted a more lenient approach, allowing Babylon to retain much of its cultural identity and even positioning himself as a liberator. This marked the beginning of a new chapter for Babylon under Persian rule, where it continued to thrive as a center of trade and culture. Perhaps the most famous conqueror to set foot in Babylon was Alexander the Great. In the 4th century before the Common Era, Alexander's armies marched into the city, and he was reportedly so captivated by its beauty that he made it his capital. Tragically, it was also in Babylon that Alexander's life came to an end, leaving behind a legacy of Hellenistic influence that would shape the region for centuries. Each conquest left its mark on Babylon, reshaping its political landscape and cultural identity. Yet, through it all, the city endured, a testament to its enduring significance in the ancient world. As we move forward, we'll explore how these conquests influenced Babylon's legacy and its place in history. Now, let's step into the mystical world of ancient Babylon, where the future was not left to chance. The Babylonians were deeply invested in understanding what lay ahead, and they turned to divination as a way to navigate the uncertainties of life. Divination, the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown through supernatural means, was a cornerstone of Babylonian culture. It wasn't just a hobby for the curious, it was a serious and respected practice that influenced everything from personal decisions to matters of state. One of the most fascinating aspects of Babylonian divination was their reliance on omens. These were signs believed to be sent by the gods, and interpreting them correctly was crucial. Omens could come from almost anywhere: the flight patterns of birds, the appearance of celestial events like eclipses, or even the behavior of animals. For example, if a sheep's liver had unusual markings during a sacrifice, priests would carefully examine it to determine what the gods were trying to communicate. These interpretations were meticulously recorded on clay tablets, creating a vast library of omens that priests could reference. Astrology also played a significant role in Babylonian divination. The Babylonians were among the first to systematically study the stars and planets, believing that celestial movements held the key to understanding divine will. They mapped the skies, identified constellations, and even developed the zodiac, which we still use today. Kings and rulers often consulted astrologers before making major decisions, such as going to war or signing treaties, believing that the alignment of the stars could predict success or failure. Animal sacrifices were another critical element of divination. These rituals were not just about offering gifts to the gods, they were a way to seek answers. The way an animal behaved before its sacrifice, the condition of its organs, and even the way it died were all seen as messages from the divine. Priests trained in the art of reading these signs would interpret them to guide everything from agricultural planning to military strategy. What's truly remarkable is how deeply integrated divination was into everyday life in Babylon. It wasn't just for the elite; ordinary people also sought guidance from diviners for personal matters like marriage, health, and business ventures. This widespread belief in divination reflects the Babylonians' profound connection to the spiritual world and their desire to align their lives with the will of the gods. As we move forward, we'll uncover how these practices not only shaped Babylonian society, but also left a lasting legacy that influenced cultures far beyond Mesopotamia. Now let's shift our focus to the vibrant heart of Babylon, its thriving market economy. Imagine walking through the bustling streets of the city, where the air is filled with the sounds of merchants calling out their wares, the clinking of coins, and the chatter of buyers and sellers haggling over prices. Babylon was not just a cultural and religious hub, it was also a center of commerce that connected the ancient world. The markets of Babylon were a sight to behold. Stalls lined the streets, overflowing with goods from near and far. Traders brought in spices from India, textiles from Egypt, precious metals from Anatolia, and timber from Lebanon. Locally produced items like barley, dates, and wool were also in high demand. The variety of goods available in Babylon's markets was a testament to the city's role as a crossroads of trade routes. Merchants played a crucial role in this bustling economy. They were the lifeblood of Babylon's markets, traveling great distances to bring exotic goods to the city. These traders were not just businessmen, they were also cultural ambassadors, bringing new ideas, technologies, and customs to Babylon. The city's strategic location along the Euphrates River made it an ideal spot for trade, as goods could be transported easily by boat or caravan. One of the most fascinating aspects of Babylon's economy was its use of standardized weights and measures. This system ensured fairness in trade and helped build trust between buyers and sellers. Merchants used stone weights to measure goods, and transactions were often recorded on clay tablets. These records were not just receipts, they were also legal documents that could be used to resolve disputes. The market economy of Babylon wasn't just about goods, it was also about people. The city attracted traders, artisans, and laborers from all over Mesopotamia and beyond. This diversity made Babylon a melting pot of cultures, where ideas and innovations flowed as freely as the goods in its markets. As we continue our journey through ancient Babylon, we'll see how this thriving economy laid the foundation for the city's prosperity and influence, shaping its legacy as one of the greatest civilizations of the ancient world. Now, let's turn our attention to one of the most remarkable feats of ancient engineering, the canals of Babylon. These waterways were not just a marvel of their time, they were the lifeblood of the city's agriculture, ensuring that the fertile lands surrounding Babylon could support its growing population. The Babylonians were masters of water management. They constructed an extensive network of canals that diverted water from the Euphrates River to irrigate their fields. This system allowed them to grow crops like barley, wheat, and dates in abundance, even in a region where rainfall was scarce. The canals were carefully designed to distribute water evenly across the farmland, ensuring that every field received the nourishment it needed to thrive. But the canals were more than just irrigation tools, they were also a testament to the Babylonians' ingenuity and foresight. By controlling the flow of water, they could prevent flooding during the rainy season and store water for use during dry periods. This level of planning and precision was crucial for sustaining a city as large and prosperous as Babylon. The construction of these canals was no small feat. It required skilled engineers, laborers, and a deep understanding of the land's topography. The Babylonians used simple yet effective tools to dig and maintain the canals, and their work was so advanced that some of these waterways remained in use for centuries after the fall of the empire. The impact of these canals extended far beyond agriculture. They also facilitated trade and transportation, allowing goods to be moved more efficiently across the region. Farmers could transport their harvests to the markets of Babylon, while merchants used the canals to bring in goods from distant lands. This interconnected system of water and trade helped Babylon maintain its status as a thriving hub of commerce and culture. As we reflect on the canals of Babylon, it's clear that they were more than just engineering achievements, they were a cornerstone of the city's prosperity. By harnessing the power of water, the Babylonians created a sustainable way of life that supported their civilization for generations. Next, we'll explore another aspect of Babylon's grandeur, the opulence and luxury that defined life in this ancient city. Stay tuned as we uncover the lavish lifestyles of Babylon's elite and the symbols of wealth that made the city a beacon of power and prestige. Now, let's step into the world of Babylon's elite, where luxury and grandeur were not just symbols of wealth but a way of life. Babylon was a city that dazzled with its opulence, and its palaces, gardens, and extravagant lifestyles were a testament to its power and prestige. The palaces of Babylon were architectural masterpieces designed to awe and inspire. Built with towering walls, intricate carvings, and adorned with precious metals and gemstones, these structures were more than just homes for the elite, they were statements of dominance. The most famous of these was the Grand Palace of Nebuchadnezzar II, a sprawling complex that housed not only the king but also his court officials and a retinue of servants. Within its walls, visitors would find vast courtyards, ornate throne rooms, and private quarters filled with luxurious furnishings. But the luxury of Babylon wasn't confined to its palaces. The city's gardens were equally breathtaking, with the legendary Hanging Gardens often cited as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Though their existence remains debated, the idea of these terraced gardens, lush with exotic plants and fed by an ingenious irrigation system, captures the imagination. Whether real or mythical, they symbolize Babylon's reputation as a city of beauty and innovation. For the elite, life in Babylon was a display of wealth at every turn. They adorned themselves in fine garments made from imported fabrics, accessorized with gold, silver, and precious stones. Banquets were a common affair, featuring lavish spreads of food and drink, accompanied by music, dance, and entertainment. These gatherings were not just about indulgence, but also about showcasing status and forging alliances. Even the streets of Babylon reflected its prosperity. Markets bustled with goods from across the known world: spices from India, silks from China, and ivory from Africa. The city's elite had access to the finest products, and their homes were filled with art, sculptures, and other treasures that spoke of their wealth and influence. This culture of luxury wasn't just about material wealth. It was a reflection of Babylon's position as a center of power and civilization. The city's grandeur was a deliberate effort to impress visitors, intimidate rivals, and inspire loyalty among its citizens. As we marvel at the opulence of Babylon, it's clear that this ancient city was more than just a place. It was a symbol of human ambition and achievement. Next, we'll delve into another fascinating aspect of Babylonian life: their use of early forms of contracts, which laid the groundwork for modern legal and business practices. Stay tuned as we uncover how Babylonians formalized agreements and managed their thriving economy. Now, let's shift our focus to a more practical yet equally fascinating aspect of Babylonian life: their use of early forms of contracts. While Babylon is often remembered for its grandeur and luxury, it was also a society built on order and organization, and their approach to formal agreements laid the foundation for modern legal and business practices. The Babylonians were pioneers in creating written contracts, which they used extensively for business transactions, loans, and property deals. These contracts were meticulously recorded on clay tablets using cuneiform script, ensuring that agreements were clear, binding, and enforceable. This system of documentation was revolutionary for its time, providing a level of security and trust that was essential for a thriving economy. One of the most common types of contracts involved loans. Babylonians would borrow goods such as grain or silver and agree to repay the amount with interest. These agreements were carefully detailed, specifying the terms of repayment, the interest rate, and even the consequences for failing to meet the obligations. This practice not only facilitated trade and commerce, but also helped individuals and businesses manage their finances effectively. Property transactions were another area where contracts played a crucial role. Whether it was the sale of land, houses, or even slaves, every deal was documented with precision. The contracts included details about the parties involved, the price, and any conditions or warranties. This level of detail ensured that disputes could be resolved fairly, and it provided a sense of stability in a society where property ownership was a key measure of wealth and status. Interestingly, these contracts weren't just dry legal documents. They often included symbolic gestures to make them more binding. For example, parties might break a clay tablet in half, with each person keeping a piece. If a dispute arose, the two halves could be matched to prove the authenticity of the agreement. This clever method added an extra layer of security and trust to the process. The use of contracts in Babylon reflects their advanced understanding of law and commerce. It shows how they valued fairness, accountability, and the importance of keeping one's word. These principles continue to influence modern legal systems, reminding us that the Babylonians were not just builders of grand palaces, but also architects of enduring societal structures. As we explore the legacy of Babylon, it's clear that their innovations extended far beyond architecture and art. Next, we'll uncover how education flourished in this ancient city, where scribes and schools played a vital role in preserving knowledge and shaping the future. Stay tuned as we dive into the world of Babylonian learning and literacy. Now, let's step into the world of learning and literacy, where Babylon truly shines as a center of education. In a society that valued order and innovation, education was not just a privilege but a cornerstone of their civilization. The Babylonians understood that knowledge was power, and they invested heavily in training the next generation of thinkers, record keepers, and leaders. At the heart of this educational system were the scribes, who held a highly respected position in Babylonian society. These skilled individuals were not just writers but also scholars, administrators, and even advisors. To become a scribe, students underwent rigorous training, often starting at a young age. They attended schools known as tablet houses, where they spent years mastering the complex cuneiform script. This writing system, made up of wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets, was the backbone of Babylonian record-keeping, literature, and communication. But education in Babylon wasn't limited to just writing. Mathematics played a crucial role in their curriculum, reflecting the Babylonians' advanced understanding of numbers and their practical applications. Students learned to solve problems using the base 60 system, which influenced everything from trade to astronomy. This system is why we still divide hours into 60 minutes and minutes into 60 seconds today. Imagine learning math in a classroom thousands of years ago, using clay tablets as your notebook. Talk about a hands-on education. The schools also emphasized practical skills, preparing students for careers in administration, trade, and even religious roles. They studied law, literature, and astronomy, gaining a well-rounded education that equipped them to contribute to society in meaningful ways. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature, was likely studied and copied by these students, preserving it for future generations. What's fascinating is that education in Babylon wasn't just for the elite. While the wealthy certainly had greater access, evidence suggests that even commoners could attend schools if they showed promise. This relatively inclusive approach to education highlights the Babylonians' belief in the value of knowledge and its role in maintaining a prosperous and orderly society. The legacy of Babylonian education is a testament to their forward-thinking mindset. By nurturing literacy and numeracy, they ensured that their innovations and traditions were preserved and passed down through the ages. As we move forward, we'll explore another fascinating aspect of Babylonian life, their unique calendar system, which shaped their religious and agricultural practices. Stay tuned as we uncover how they measured time in one of the world's earliest civilizations. Now, let's turn our attention to how the Babylonians measured time, a system that was as practical as it was revolutionary. The Babylonians developed one of the earliest known calendar systems, and it was deeply rooted in their observations of the moon. This lunar calendar was not just a tool for tracking days, but a cornerstone of their daily lives, shaping everything from religious rituals to agricultural cycles. Their calendar was based on the phases of the moon, with each month beginning at the first sighting of the new crescent moon. This meant that a typical month lasted about 29 or 30 days, aligning closely with the moon's natural cycle. To keep their calendar in sync with the solar year, which is roughly 365 days long, the Babylonians added an extra month every few years. This clever adjustment ensured that their agricultural and religious festivals stayed aligned with the seasons, a vital necessity for a society so dependent on farming. The lunar calendar wasn't just about practicality, it was also deeply intertwined with their spiritual beliefs. Each month was associated with specific gods and religious observances, and the timing of festivals was carefully calculated to honor these deities. For example, the Akitu festival, which marked the Babylonian New Year, was a grand celebration that coincided with the spring equinox, symbolizing renewal and the triumph of order over chaos. Agriculture, too, was heavily influenced by this calendar. Farmers relied on it to determine the best times for planting and harvesting crops. The predictability of the lunar cycle provided a reliable framework for managing their fields, ensuring that they could maximize their yields and sustain their growing population. What's truly remarkable is how the Babylonian calendar laid the groundwork for future civilizations. Their system of dividing time into months and years, along with their use of intercalary months to correct discrepancies, influenced later cultures, including the Greeks and Romans. Even today, traces of their lunar calendar can be seen in certain religious traditions and cultural practices around the world. As we move forward, we'll explore another fascinating aspect of Babylonian life, their role as a center for religious pilgrimage. Stay with us as we uncover how their temples attracted worshippers from across Mesopotamia, solidifying Babylon's place as a spiritual hub in the ancient world. Now, shifting our focus to the spiritual heart of Babylon, we uncover how the city became a magnet for religious pilgrims from far and wide. Babylon's temples were not just places of worship, they were monumental symbols of divine power and human devotion, drawing people from across Mesopotamia to seek blessings, guidance, and connection with the gods. At the center of this spiritual allure was the Esagila, the grand temple dedicated to Marduk, Babylon's chief deity. This temple was more than a religious site. It was a testament to the city's divine favor and its role as the axis of the cosmos. Pilgrims traveled great distances to pay homage to Marduk, believing that his favor could bring prosperity, protection, and victory in battle. The temple's towering ziggurat, known as the Etemenanki, was said to reach the heavens, further solidifying Babylon's reputation as a bridge between the earthly and the divine. The journey to Babylon was often arduous, but pilgrims were driven by faith and the promise of spiritual renewal. Along the way, they would pass through bustling markets and vibrant neighborhoods, adding to the city's reputation as a cultural and economic hub. Upon arrival, pilgrims participated in elaborate rituals, including offerings, prayers, and processions, all designed to honor the gods and seek their favor. One of the most significant events was the Akitu festival, which we touched on earlier. This 12-day celebration, held during the New Year, was a time of communal worship and renewal. Pilgrims joined locals in reenacting the myth of Marduk's victory over chaos, a powerful reminder of the divine order that sustained their world. The festival was not just a religious event, it was a unifying experience that reinforced Babylon's identity as the spiritual center of Mesopotamia. The temples also served as centers of learning and healing. Pilgrims could consult priests for divination, seeking answers to personal or communal dilemmas. Some temples even housed medical practitioners who used a combination of herbal remedies and spiritual rituals to treat ailments, blending science and faith in ways that were ahead of their time. Babylon's role as a pilgrimage site had far-reaching effects. It fostered cultural exchange as people from different regions brought their traditions, languages, and ideas to the city. This influx of diversity enriched Babylonian society, making it a melting pot of beliefs and practices. As we reflect on Babylon's spiritual significance, it's clear that the city was more than a political or economic powerhouse. It was a beacon of faith that united people across the ancient world. Next, we'll delve into how Babylonians practiced early forms of banking, another fascinating aspect of their innovative society. Stay tuned as we uncover how temples doubled as financial institutions, shaping the economic landscape of Mesopotamia. Now, let's step into the bustling economic world of ancient Babylon, where temples weren't just places of worship, they were also the heart of financial activity. The Babylonians were pioneers in developing early forms of banking, creating systems that laid the groundwork for modern finance. At the core of this system were loans, which were essential for trade, agriculture, and personal needs. Farmers, merchants, and even ordinary citizens could borrow goods like grain, silver, or livestock, with the promise to repay the loan with interest. Interest rates were carefully regulated, often set at around 20% for loans of silver and 33% for grain. These rates were designed to balance the needs of borrowers and lenders, ensuring that the system remained fair and functional. Temples played a central role in this financial network. As trusted institutions, they acted as both banks and lenders, safeguarding wealth and managing loans. Priests, who were often highly educated, kept meticulous records of transactions on clay tablets using cuneiform script. These records included details about the borrower, the amount lent, the interest rate, and the repayment terms. This level of organization was remarkable for its time and highlights the Babylonians' advanced understanding of finance. One fascinating aspect of Babylonian banking was the use of written contracts. These agreements, inscribed on clay tablets, were legally binding and included clauses to protect both parties. For example, if a borrower couldn't repay a loan due to unforeseen circumstances like a poor harvest, the contract might allow for an extension or reduced payment. This flexibility shows how the Babylonians valued fairness and practicality in their financial dealings. The temples also served as repositories for wealth. Wealthy individuals and merchants would deposit their valuables, such as silver or precious goods, in temple vaults for safekeeping. In return, they might receive a receipt or token, an early form of banking documentation. This system not only protected wealth but also facilitated trade by providing a secure way to store and transfer resources. The influence of Babylonian banking extended far beyond their borders. Their practices inspired neighboring civilizations and laid the foundation for financial systems that would evolve over centuries. From loans and interest rates to written contracts and secure storage, the Babylonians demonstrated a level of sophistication that was truly ahead of its time. As we wrap up this exploration of Babylonian banking, it's clear that their innovations were not just about money. They were about creating systems that supported growth, stability, and trust. Next, we'll uncover how Babylon's grandeur and achievements made it a symbol of power and prestige in the ancient world. Stay tuned as we delve into the legacy of this remarkable civilization. Now, let's turn our attention to the awe-inspiring legacy of Babylon as a symbol of power and prestige in the ancient world. This city wasn't just a thriving metropolis, it was a beacon of civilization, a place where ambition, innovation, and grandeur came together to create something truly extraordinary. Babylon's reputation as a center of power began with its architectural marvels. The city's towering ziggurats, like the famous Etemenanki, were more than just religious structures, they were statements of dominance. These massive step temples reached toward the heavens, symbolizing the connection between the gods and the rulers of Babylon. The grandeur of these buildings wasn't just for show, it was a way to project the city's strength and divine favor to all who saw them. The Ishtar Gate, with its vibrant blue tiles and intricate designs, was another testament to Babylon's prestige. This monumental entrance wasn't just a gateway, it was a declaration of the city's wealth and artistic sophistication. Visitors and traders passing through the gate would have been struck by its beauty, a clear reminder of Babylon's status as a cultural and political powerhouse. But Babylon's influence went beyond its physical structures. The city was a hub of knowledge and innovation, home to some of the most advanced systems of its time. From its groundbreaking legal code to its sophisticated banking practices, Babylon set the standard for governance and commerce. Neighboring kingdoms looked to Babylon as a model of how to build and maintain a thriving civilization. The city's rulers also played a key role in shaping its image. Kings like Hammurabi and Nebuchadnezzar II were not just leaders, they were visionaries who understood the importance of legacy. They commissioned grand projects, expanded the city's borders, and promoted its culture, ensuring that Babylon's name would be remembered for generations. Even after its decline, Babylon's legacy endured. The city became a symbol of human achievement, a place where the impossible seemed possible. Its stories and achievements were passed down through the ages, inspiring countless civilizations that followed. As we reflect on Babylon's role as a symbol of power and prestige, it's clear that this city was more than just a place, it was an idea. It represented the heights of what humanity could achieve when ambition, creativity, and vision came together. Next, we'll explore how Babylon's innovations and culture continue to influence our world today, proving that its legacy is far from forgotten. Stay tuned as we uncover the lasting impact of this remarkable civilization. Now, as we step into the final chapter of our journey through ancient Babylon, let's take a moment to appreciate how this remarkable civilization continues to shape our world today. Babylon's legacy isn't confined to the pages of history. It lives on in ways that might surprise you. One of the most enduring contributions of Babylon is its legal system. The Code of Hammurabi, with its emphasis on justice and accountability, laid the groundwork for modern legal principles. Concepts like an eye for an eye may sound ancient, but they reflect a foundational idea that laws should be clear, consistent, and fair. Even today, legal systems around the world draw inspiration from these early Babylonian ideals. Babylon's influence also extends to the way we measure time. Their base 60 number system, which they used for mathematics and astronomy, is the reason we have 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. Every time you glance at a clock, you're seeing a piece of Babylonian innovation in action. The city's cultural impact is equally profound. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature, originated in Babylon. This epic tale of friendship, loss, and the search for immortality continues to resonate with readers today, offering timeless insights into the human experience. It's a reminder that the stories we tell, whether written on clay tablets or digital screens, connect us across centuries. Even in the realm of architecture, Babylon's legacy endures. The concept of grand, awe-inspiring structures designed to showcase power and prestige can be traced back to Babylon's ziggurats and monumental gates. Modern skyscrapers and iconic landmarks owe a debt to the vision and ambition of Babylonian builders. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Babylon's legacy is its role as a symbol of human potential. The city's rise and fall remind us of the fragility of even the greatest civilizations, yet its achievements inspire us to reach for greatness. Babylon teaches us that innovation, creativity, and vision can leave a mark that lasts for millennia. As we close this exploration of ancient Babylon, it's clear that this civilization was far more than a historical footnote. Its innovations, culture, and stories continue to influence our world, offering lessons and inspiration for generations to come. If you've enjoyed this journey through the mysteries of Babylon, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating dives into history. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of our past as we wrap up our journey through the wonders of ancient Babylon. It's incredible to reflect on how this civilization's innovations and culture have left an indelible mark on history. From the groundbreaking Code of Hammurabi to the awe-inspiring Ishtar Gate, Babylon was a hub of creativity, intellect, and ambition. Their advancements in mathematics, astronomy, and architecture laid the foundation for many of the systems we rely on today. The stories of Babylon, whether etched in clay tablets or carved into the walls of its grand ziggurats, remind us of the timeless nature of human curiosity and resilience. The city's legacy isn't just about its achievements, it's about the enduring spirit of innovation that continues to inspire us. If you've enjoyed uncovering these 30 little-known facts about life in ancient Babylon, let us know in the comments below what surprised you the most. Do you have any questions about this fascinating civilization? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a journey into the mysteries of history. Until next time, keep exploring the past. It's full of stories waiting to be discovered.